Hi, and welcome to the 28th conference of the Targeted West Conference and Show with me, DJ Chris. Thank you for watching on BitChute, YouTube, or archive.org, or thank you for being here in the call. Wherever you are, thank you. I'm a man in the middle, not violent or spewing out violence, apolitical, just here to try to figure out why I have the telepathy or the terrorists in my head, and still trying to figure it out. I still don't have an answer to that. And today's the 9th of October, 2022. It's me and Mac G in the house, and presenting you a video conference format so we can share links and videos on YouTube and various other platforms and share research and information with an open mic that comes on in a couple of minutes. I think I covered everything. Every time I research, it always ends up being about trying to beat out the Soviet Union. And here's another one, the Montauk Project. Main Street Internet and media says it is a fictional event, and I beg to differ, but that's up to you to decide yourself. I think it was real. They did bring young men in there, and they did do time travel and remote viewing experiments because they were trying to beat the Soviet Union at the time, and that's what they did, to try to beat them out using whatever the Nazi technology they had gained. And so the Montauk Project was going on in an Air Force base, and I think it's Camp Hero, and they had to have done it because if you think about Russell Tark for SRI International, showed how to do remote viewing and completely explained how he did it, including with people like Uri Geller and their ability to manipulate things remotely. And Russell Tark has been censored off TEDx and YouTube and other places, so people pop him back up every once in a while. But he's on my Twitter feed right now, TI Club 3, and he's got a new interview. He's still alive. He's 88 years old. So Russell Tark will tell you remote viewing is real. The CIA was experimenting again to try to gain on the Soviet Union, and Montauk Project is that. And my voices are the ones that brought it up. And if I go on any more about it, they said they'll do horrible things to me, which makes no sense. And of course, they could have, of course, set me up to make me look like a fool, but I don't think so, because I really think that they were experimenting with remote viewing and time travel. Yeah, I even wrote it could be fictional or not, or nonfiction. You decide, and do not go deep per the telepathy. See, there's a terrorist in my head I deal with. Sucks, huh? Anyway, it's 87 degrees here in beautiful Lodi. Same place, same cat, same everything. I'm hanging in there. I hope you're doing okay. If you're a target individual or researcher, if you're watching this down in posterity, there's Armageddon. They're talking about criminal unrest, civil unrest. Some countries' power is going out. Florida got hit with a hurricane, all sorts of stuff, unrest. Banks are acting weird, talking about social credit like we did on the old show 2 weeks ago, and talking about digital currency and World War III. So it's been crazy here if you're watching this down the road in posterity. But if you're watching it now, besides being a target individual and listening to all this crap on TV is enough to break you down. So I've been grounding more and listening to music and not the news, and trying to avoid all that. Isn't it enough to be targeted and have to watch all that stuff and a lot of speculation by media? It's like they scared my mother-in-law. She went to bed. She thought she was so scared. The mainstream media scared her. So we told her, no, get out of bed. It's all good. And my telepathy plays it up and tells me there's going to be a nuclear attack, and on and on and on. So it's like, whatever. So let's look at the list here. Here's what I'm reading off of. I don't use a computer. I use a piece of paper, like an old fool I am. Next topic on the TargetedWest call is CBS News did a segment about how you can text, surf the web, and read your email using your brain. And what they do is they have I think it's called Synchron. I'll do a segment on that in a week or two. They take your artery and run a neurological sensor up in there, and it goes up into your brain to the part of your brain where you detect movement, and you'll be able to, with this technology, not have to use your hands to text anymore. And someone's already doing it. They already have a paraplegic that's exhibiting some of the features of this technology. He can scroll and read his email so far. So it's happening now. So my question is, would you get enhanced? Would you get enhanced for a job or a career choice to get that job to keep your bills paid, or would you say no, be the non-enhanced? So, because it's not going to be just for paraplegics, it's going to be offered as a technology option for people that want to be ahead for the fourth industrial revolution, is what I talk about all the time. A lot of the fourth industrial revolution is third industrial revolution carryover. I discuss the underground Armageddon. Yeah, the richest people, the elites, are building underground Armageddon, hidden elite centers with an art gallery, your art collection, of course, your car collection, and enough food to grow, and oxygen and generators and such for 10 years. But if there's Armageddon or a nuclear attack, are you going to sit in a hole for 10 years? I mean, that's not being very elite. So I talk about that on the internet all the time. So that's kind of like not really my thing, but that's going viral. And back to Elon Musk, or talking about Elon Musk's Neuralink technology, they're now using a pig with sensors on the pig to detect certain brain functions. And I put that article on TI Club 3 on Twitter, where my account is, where I give out information. I'm appreciating you being here. Thank you. I mean, who in their right mind would do that? Apparently, his competitor is now testing a Neuralink type technology on a human this year, as I've reported before. So would you have the ability to read and watch the internet and have a screen in your head, or have the internet through a chip with a bunch of copper wires wired through your head? Would you go for that? Would you pay money for that? Some people would, believe it or not. Ooh, Joe just announced that Joe talked to a U.S. diplomat, so we'll get a report on that in a moment. That's good news, Joe. Thank you for announcing that. So, and then here's back to Russell Tark. I put in an interview with Russell, of course, that new one where he's talking about remote viewing, as I spoke earlier about with the Montauk project. You can find that at TI Club 3. Next subject is the Rob Files, robfiles.com. I wrote .org, but I found it at rob-files.com, and it looked a little strange. It wasn't the right format. It was all capitals, which is not my cup of tea, but I tried looking at it. I'll take another look. It talks a lot about different technologies we discuss on these conference calls, so someone brought that up to me in the chat room here, so I just thought I'd mention that. Thank you. It's now 6:11 p.m. Chat room is filling up and the call's filling up. And before I go to open mic, we had a TI go on the internet and say that some moderators are being paid as perps. And I want to let you know that I'm not getting paid by anyone. I don't get very many emails. I don't use the phone. So unless I'm using my mind to talk to a perp or doing perp things, then that's all I would have as an option. And like I've said before, I am fully vettable. If you want to vet me, I would not get mad. But after you find out there's nothing here, then I'll probably be a little upset for a while, but I'll get over it. So I don't like that. So I'm going to switch to open mic and let you guys talk as I weave in subjects. You're all muted now. Hit *6 if you'd like to talk. It's now open mic. Okay, it's open mic. If you'd like to talk, come on in. I'll give you a moment to speak, or I'll go to the next topic. Any announcements?
Hi. Hi, DJ.
Well, hello, Joe. How are you? Come on in. I heard you had something to say.
I'm so excited, but I don't really want to be recorded saying it. So I'll come on off in an hour. I don't mean to keep you all in mystery or whatever the word is. But
yeah, no worries. Wait till 45 minutes when I'll say recording off, and then you can do it. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Look forward to it. I talked to a U.S. diplomat, yeah. And I've talked to a guy who's high up in the Navy in Australia. And they're my friends, so I have to be careful. So I'll just respect them, and then I'll talk to you in an hour. Yeah.
Very good. Yes, that would be appropriate.
Okay. Going to go on mute. Thank you.
Okay, so the next subject is the get-together in D.C. That's October 20th to the 21st. And that is Ann Baker. And if you'd like to donate to Ann Baker or find out more information about the D.C. get-together, which they'll be doing an event at the White House, and then they have a meeting conference room to meet too at a library nearby. So they have both. And Ann Baker's phone number is, thank you, you beat me to it, 312-388-5329. That's 388-5329, area code 302. If you're on the internet watching this video, call her, text, get information on where to send a check or money order. I don't believe she's taking any internet payments, so you have to do it old school. So if you don't mind doing that, her number again is 312-388-5329, and that's a get-together again in Washington, D.C., which, if you're not in the United States, is the capital of the United States. And they'll be talking about the Havana Syndrome and the Havana Syndrome Act of 2021. And it's a rally. And I hope you're able to either attend or donate and help spread the word. I have the flyer And both flyers, if you want copies, you can email me at djchris@targetedwest.com, or you can contact Ann Baker and she can send them to you. So spread the word. Again, that's October 20th to 21st, 2022. And that is, again, the DC event that everybody's been talking about that you need to get involved in. So please, open mic. Next piece of business in open mic is topic OSINT. Have you ever heard that one? OSINT. That's damn, I forgot the word for it. Oh well, that's okay. OSINT is open source intelligence. You can glean source information from the internet mostly, or from different databases and such on anyone. And basically what I'm saying is you can reverse engineer what this PI explained on my TI Club 3 video I posted. So you can reverse engineer the COINTEL happening to you or cause stalking and turn it around on them. So there's a whole bunch of hints and different ways to learn about OSINT. I covered Ann Baker. OSINT Intel Tools is on there also, so it's 2 videos. Open mic. The room is getting fuller, and I appreciate you hanging on the video like you are. So we'll keep going here. If you're into movies, we have on TI Club 3 video section of the Twitter page, I do a little hashtag targeted movie night, and it's hashtag targeted movie night. And the movie you want to see now is Brainstorm. Came out in 1983 with Natalie Wood and Christopher Walken, which happens to be the 2 people that were on the boat when she drowned. And some people say there's a weird connection to that movie. And if you watch the movie Brainstorm, it's about mind reading and brain technology back then. Which will be 40 years in 2023. So that's the targeted movie night for your fun. I think I put a free video link on my TI Club 3 for you. No charge for a movie. I don't think you should pay for a movie.
Chris?
Open mic. Oh, hello.
Yeah, this is Taylor out of New Jersey. You mentioned something about the OSINT tools. Could you explain that again?
OSINT tools are resources that you can get on the internet from websites and such to spy on people using data that's on the internet, and basically different tools, meaning databases, those places where you can see someone's address and such, Spokio and such, and then there's Intel tools that PIs use that pay a license fee, and then you have recorder's office info, you have credit reports, you have neighbors that know their neighbors you could talk to using reverse directories. So those are examples of OSINT.
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome, sir. So we're going to Brainstorm. We covered that. I'll let you guys see if you want to do open mic.
You want?
Chris, did you get a chance to look at any of that book I had sent over?
Did you send a book via my email?
No, it was in the chat last week. It was the book on OSINT techniques.
Yes, I read that. I went over it. Yes, thank you for that lead. I went over it. The only unfortunate part is that that man's information is so good that he has no Kindle version. You have to buy that book, the hard copy, and it's very good. You got a good one there, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
And if I can find a digital form or afford the book or an older version, I can probably do that down the road. So, yeah, I did follow through. I follow through on every lead you guys send me on this call. So if you've got any others, send them over. Thank you. Matter of fact, some of the tools I got from his website, and that's where I got that from. So, yeah, OSINT is a good thing to know. You should do OSINT on your neighbors and know who they are, too. I mean, no one's going to find out. You can do reverse directory, see who's living next door. There's more information out there than you can imagine. That's a big thing, is data. Data is a big thing now. Everybody's got data. This one's a doozy. And if you're young and you know what doozy means, it's a Duesenberg. It was a really fancy car, and and something crazy, incredible. It's a doozy. If you ever want to know that, that's old mansplain. Next one is DNA-based food choices. They're not going to use this. There's this company that takes your DNA and finds what foods work for you, and you wear this little thing on your wrist and you scan the food barcode and it puts a red light or a green light based on your DNA, so you'll stay healthy. Is that not the craziest thing? And it's called data nudge or nudge something. So I put that on my, did I put that on there? Yeah, I put that on there. That was Mac G's offering. And that's on my Twitter page, TI Club 3. It's now almost 25 after. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. See, the chat room's going well. I get told not to eat Krispy Kreme, but it's never mentioned in my telepathy. It's always the taco place that has a ring to it. Well, that's funny. Caller 00 hugs to you and hugs to everybody. I have to give everyone hugs if I give you hugs. It's just the way it is on the MTV. Oh, the chat room. Oh, the whole call picked up. Very nice. It's 25 after. Thank you for your time and patience. I'm an old man. Next one's real serious, so I was kind of waiting for the room to build up, but I think there's enough of you here. I don't know how to use Cash App, but my friend Rock DJ, ROCK 79, his Cash App is $Rock DJ 79. Yep, $Rock DJ 79. He lost everything along with his partner and his parents in the floods in Florida, and they have nothing at all, zero, zilch, zero. And so he was on Twitter asking if someone could help them. So I'm asking you if you could try to send him something to help him out and his family while they dry out their house and figure out what they're going to do, because, they can't work or anything right now. This Florida thing really hit them hard, and a lot of other people who were targeted probably got hit hard too, that we haven't even heard from yet. So again, if you can help Rock DJ 79, that's Cash App, $Rock DJ 79. I appreciate it. And that's all I have for that open mic. Talk amongst yourself. I'm going to take a break. anybody new or old, or I should say old seasoned, or anyone who wants to speak? A new person, anyone, any thing to announce?
Speaking of Florida, has anybody heard from Neil or Skizit? Because they showed New Samara, parts of New Samara Beach got hit really hard, and I know that's the area they live in.
No, no one's heard from them. I haven't. No, I haven't heard anything either. I hope they are okay. Should go to their site, which is I can't remember at the moment. There's you can put it in the chat room and I'll remember. What is Neil's website? CAHTS. Yeah, and go to his site and send him an email and check on him.
I don't have access to the computer right now.
Okay, yeah, it's Systems Against Harmful Technologies. Yeah, so if we can get a hold of him, that'd be great. If you've got his number. Well, that's good, Hannah. I'm glad you handled that because you have to be in your tip-top shape so you can tell people about the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
They're already here. Is she going to explain it?
I know. Yeah, it's been here for a while. Yep. Fourth Industrial Revolution started when the computers in Silicon Valley started, is the beginning of it. And now it's overwhelmingly taken over everything. Isn't that a crazy... I know DNA, grocery matching is a great example of how they're manipulating your DNA. So you can imagine what else they do to us with it?
Dolly the sheep, that Doppler thing. Now the scientists are saying, oh, it's such a big universe. A lot of us share the same DNA and look exactly alike. Do we all believe that?
No, that's not true. Yeah, I know they're just trying to push that stupid doppelganger thing. Yeah, crazy. They think people are going to pay to have a copy of them made so that they'll live forever. There's people that want to live forever that'll pay for that too.
No, I believe that too. Well, they already have it legalized for pets because there's some rich people who have their pets remade after they die. But speaking of the implants in your brain, Elon Musk has one. That was on VPN, and I forgot the name of the technology, but it's a 45-minute procedure. Like you said, when you think it can type for your text and stuff like that, but they already do have that technology. And then it can be like on a cybernetic network, which that's what we know DOD uses. And then you can share your thoughts with other people in distance, and even from one country to a next. But Elon Musk has that implanted, and there was a article, and then it was on VPN.
Very good to know. So you see, yeah, I mean, that would be for collaborating through your mind so that you don't get your intellectual property stolen. Once they hack your mind, it's too late. But people will ask for it. I guarantee you people will line up to have the ability not to text with their fingers.
Yeah, and then they think they're all abiding by the HIPAA laws where they keep all your personal information a secret while you're hooked up to this.
Right. Yes, they can. Do your emotions. I think I know who's typing that. And I have no emotions except sweet and sour, so I'm good. I'm like a dish of food, sweet and sour. Yes. Brian said that. Yep.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, Huggy Bear.
Yes.
Come on in. My sciatica is killing me, so I got to put that coffee cup in the chair here. Oh, God. Help me.
I got the call when you mentioned
going. Go ahead, Huggy Bear. Thank you for coming in.
Have you, this just hit my news worthiness yesterday. Breaking news. Now, this is about signals intelligence, a.k.a. the tinnitus we get, you know. And Biden signed an executive order regarding enhancing safeguards on these U.S. signals intelligence activities, okay? And I read through it. It's a long read, but it had everything to do with us, I believe. And he signed it on day before yesterday, as the 7th. And it prohibits collecting activities that would conduct for any purpose of suppressing or burdening criticism and dissent, or the free expression of ideas or political opinions by individuals or the press. You know, and they're prohibiting using these signals on us. I might add, mine went up today, for suppressing or restricting legitimate privacy interests. It's also suppressing or restricting a right to legal counsel, and on disadvantaged persons based on ethnicity, race, gender identity, sexual orientation, religion, and this went on and on and on and on. And you know, obviously a lot of lawyers wrote this up, and the whole town is lawyers, just so you know. And what I got out of it was a gist that they still had something written in there that it was something that Duncan told me. He said that we're a statistic, and that the reality is that we're just a number. You know, and
I agree, and my voice is telling me not that it has nothing to do with me. And I discuss interferometry and signals intelligence on a call on this channel. Interesting you bringing it up.
Well, this can be found at the WhiteHouse.gov under briefing room, presidential actions, the 7th of this month, and it's an executive order. So you know, if anybody's interested in going over there and reading it or downloading it, or I'm just saying that
I put the headphones on and listen to the whole show tomorrow morning, and I'll type it in on BitChute, and mention it on the call on Twitter, and I'll probably post it on Twitter too. Yeah, so thank you for that too. It's very interesting because that's exactly one of my theories.
Yeah, I got into some heavy-duty research regarding the NSA because the CIA created them. In 1947, when the CIA became who they were from the OSS, that was when they did a National Security Act. And what happened was, and I believe Truman always regretted it, they were supposed to be a right arm to the president, a global, private, top secret thing just for him, and it didn't happen that way, and they became their own entity, and nobody could, I'm being honest, they were more corrupt than the mob, and they were partly with the mob. It was that bad, and it was on a global scale. And then they created the NSA, I think, like 3 years later, and they made it so that nobody I don't care what senator it is, no one can ask them a question, can investigate them, nothing. And I think that, well, of course, that's where everything ties that wrong.
Crazy, huh? They make the rules, they break the rules, and they make the rules.
Yeah, and there are files over at WikiLeaks, thanks to Julian Assange, that the NSA does a lot of experimentation, just like the CIA. A lot. And a lot of it is, you know, all these apps and these advertisements all over the internet, and they track us everywhere we go. And so it's become like it's a surveillance capital, literally.
Yeah, it's OSINT, open source intelligence. It can be used by us or anyone else on our activities online. The world, the open, or I call it the mainstream internet.
Yeah, I mean, but like, you know, even some of the biggest ones behind a lot of the weapons is NATO. And even you can hear this out of their own voices. It's out there on the internet. It's called, I can't think what it's called. I'd have to look for it. And they say that everyone, this is their words, there's 4 of them. 2 of them are military, a guy and a woman, and 2 more. And they said everybody is on the table to be targeted. I had to hear that again. I'd play it back. And again, if you hear the whole conversation, they even say they do it for economic reasons. I mean, there was just no, you know, maybe they could have said they didn't like what I said out there, you know. Yes, I dissent regarding a lawsuit, and yes, I really dissent how my husband was killed. And I know the NSA came after me with DARPA, and they threw the AI program down on me and made my life hell, and everybody else's in this room. And that's the NSA, DARPA, CIA, and it just, and MIT is involved as well. And if you run, Duncan tried to talk to the newer graduates at MIT to explain to them how gruesome this is, so that maybe in the future they will, you know, have a conscience about it. You know what I mean? But I got into researching the MIT a little bit and found they've got 40 plus years of human experimentation on unwitting. And matter of fact, if you listen to Kathy O'Brien, they've got decades of it up there. I mean, it's pitiful.
I read her book, and I didn't catch that. Can you send this? Can you mention our source link, or where I can pick it up tomorrow on the recording? Got any sources for that I can look up?
She has a website. It's called Transformation, and that's also the name of her book.
Okay, I'll check that out. I have that on my TI Club 3 page with her chat. I mean, her website and her book. So, okay, very good. I'll check that out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did not know that. Keep going. That's very important information. Because I just claimed that they did the chatterbot or the language bot. I think they were more evil than that.
You know, it's chatterbox torture, which I will get if I post on Twitter. How dare I? And I was not a social media butterfly prior at all. I ran 7 genealogical related websites, and I used the internet for college, and then I started eBaying. Other than that, I was never going to do Facebook, number one, ever, never. I heard about it on the news, and I just didn't want to put my privacy out there, you know. And then I had no reason to. And then I had never heard of Twitter or any of the others. You know, and they are the biggest ones.
In-Q-Tel invested in LifeLog, which turned into Facebook.
Yeah, really sad. Yeah, so when you're on them sites, I mean, and there are military types behind the scenes watching. And when I get on Twitter or Facebook, and when I see people suffering horrendously, you know, these poor, pitiful targets will put their pictures and film out there. It's horrendous, and I'm targeted. It is horrendous to look at. I question how the heck do they live with themselves to see that? Are they all that cold-hearted, corrupt?
It's about money. It's, they shut their emotions off when it's about money.
Well, Duncan said their excuses. I'm sorry.
Oh, we have somebody coming in. Let's see what their opinion is, and you come back to Huggy.
Oh, I just wanted to add in on Facebook real quick. I forgot the name of the company, but Facebook's IDs and user passwords got changed, and on the local news they said if you're on Facebook, you need to change your password. That's all I wanted to put.
Oh, very good. Thank you for that information. Yeah, I don't use Facebook. I've been off of it since 2018 because I just don't like it. But anyway, go ahead, back to you, Huggy Bear.
Darn, where was my train of thinking? It's something to do with Duncan.
Duncan said that.
What was the subject?
MIT and experimenting on humans for 40 years.
Yeah, over 40 years. And then back to Kathy O'Brien now. And again, National Security Act, they're never going to admit to what they're doing to us because they're going to say it's national security, right? That's what they did for Kathy O'Brien when she tried to get her daughter. They did so much horrific. They raped her left and right in front of Kathy. Imagine her little daughter. These big politicians. One of them was Leahy.
I read the whole book.
Oh, man. And then how about Bird? I used to watch, when I was in college for history, I had to watch C-SPAN. And I would watch them live on there, and Bird, he would get up there with his Bible. He was from West Virginia, old guy. And he would get up there. I mean, he really had me going. He was hardcore, pounding his fist, and he was really into that Bible when on the Senate floor. Come to find out, he's in charge of the global MK Ultra. He was Kathy O'Brien's owner. That was my power.
I remember that, yes.
Wow.
Someone in the chat room says, Brian 2 says that you'll have gay fantasies if you're straight and straight fantasies if you're gay. No, I don't get any straight fantasies. Sorry, Brian 2, you're wrong.
I get a lot of weird stuff synthetically put in my head, but I know that I studied.
Are you getting the dreams, Huggy? Did you get the dreams, Huggy?
I used to. I sleep so soundly my whole life and I'm so tired from this targeting that when I fall out, I'm out till morning when the darn thing wakes me up, and it's getting scary. I'm being honest, it's getting frightening.
Is it escalating in your case?
Yes, it is. And according to Logic is my friend, and I do firmly believe, I've been in touch with her, I do believe she really is an agent. She was in hiding, watching, trying to figure her things out. And she's targeted now, sadly. And that's one of our problems is they come forward, they're going to get targeted. That's our biggest issue. What do we do?
That's crazy, yeah. The chat room says Brian 2 says that they have the capability to do it to anyone, but they only do it to certain people. Which means we're back to the, some animals are equal, but some animals are more equal. Thing from the Animal Farm book.
Yeah. Well, they got a lot of nerve, I'll say that.
Oh, it's disgusting. The type of people that talk in my head that put the dreams. When I get up in the morning, I want to take I don't want to say, but the dirty, sick dreams, and they twist my dad around. They got my dad's not a tyrant. My dad was cheap, but not a tyrant. He was a Freemason, but he wasn't a bad person. I think he was just misguided. A lot of low-level Freemasons try to get into it so that they can hook up with richer people to get money, and my dad ended up getting magic duplexes and rental properties for a mailman that had no money. Boom, 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 magic money.
I had an uncle that was a Freemason, and he was a little different than the rest of the family, I have to admit.
So was my dad. My whole family that I know right now are nothing like him.
Right. He was the one that broke my grandma, his mother's heart. And he let me, I'm not going to go into his dirt. He's long gone. I don't want to talk about the dead, but he was good to me, but he was different. You're right. He was, in a sense, he was kind of. I don't want to. Well, I don't want to say. I don't know.
Has the word mysterious work or dark?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what my dad was.
Yeah.
And my dad put everybody down. My dad was fat, but he kept telling everybody they're fat. It's like, where'd you get the nerve, fatty?
Maybe because when they're a member of that, they feel like they got a big backing. Like when I was a teenager. Actually,
Well,
these ones are.
They take an oath of their life. If they give up any of the information of the lodge, they're told they'll cut their belly open and throw their guts over their shoulder and kill them, slit their wrists, and kill their family. It tells them that you can't tell anything about this to anyone ever. They take that oath, which is why police, law enforcement, lawyers, judges, and everyone do it, because it's a cover. They don't have to do what the public wants. All they have to do is what they took under the oath of the secret society they chose.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one of our other biggest issues is they did a lot of blackmailing. They would set a lot of them up, like, maybe slip something in their drink and then take pictures of them with naked children or whatever. And that's another one of our problems. There's too many people. Even you can get online and look, whistleblowers are still desperately trying to get protection, so they can come forward. There's so much corruption. It's unreal.
Yeah, and these handlers are obsessed with pedophilia and children, by the way. Exactly as Kathy O'Brien has said. It is exactly what goes on in my head. The filthy stuff they say, the comments, the dreams.
All I know is what they were like in front of me. I went up against them legally, and I mean medically and legally. So I got the number one law firm, 167 strong, out of D.C., and they were all, even the head shock trauma doctors, they were all cold-hearted, really cold, like bloodless cold, literally. I mean, I've never been around people that were so cold-hearted in my life.
Could you equate them to, I don't want to go into the reptilian theory, but you do know part of the human brain is reptilian, and you do know it's possible through Darwin's theory that we all came out of the ocean as lizards, so yes, people have more lizard than humanity. That's just the way they come out. And the lizards, I'm not saying they are lizards, but they think like a lizard.
Well, I know there's this big thing about the reptilian thing, and I started my long research down that track, which took me to South Africa. And then when I come out of that, I banged into some information on on the biology of a human being, and where's the beginning, and it really does go back to reptilian.
And Africa and China are the two oldest countries, so everything roots back there.
Oh yeah, South Africa, 430,000 years ago.
I have South African DNA. I have my DNA done a while ago, a long time ago, before I knew any better.
Wow, how far back did they go?
I'm a South African hunter-gatherer, small percentage, so yeah, it said that I was. It says I was 1% Asian too, and then 67% Welsh. But none of my family knows where the Welsh is coming from, so that's weird.
Wow. Huh. That's interesting. I think they already had our DNA from long ago.
Yeah, they did. They did. They get it from when you go to the doctor to get your blood drawn. They're keeping it and storing it and testing it on everyone.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's why they're always so greedy to get your blood.
Mm-hmm.
They get your blood off or a razor off your garbage can out front. They do that to solve cases now.
Yeah.
They can do it through resonance, a DNA resonance, which I believe this is my theory, is according to Anthony Patch, they're quantum computers that have the ability to do entanglement with the DNA, and it's basically remote entanglement, and as far as I can figure it out. And that goes along with Brian 2 and Brian 2's theory of the quantum computers, supercomputers, exto style. These are above heaven, earth, and beyond. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And so, of course, it could involve anything other than a human.
Yeah,
I hate to go down that avenue, but it is possible. Jordy Rose from D-Wave said in a public forum that they are hiring demonologists so they can crack that fourth dimension.
Yeah. I don't believe for 1 minute we're, as big as we're not the only universe.
You would be a nutcase if you thought we were the only people of this amount of power of thinking and strength with our minds as other species in this galaxy. We're not the only ones here. It's just the average American would freak if they knew that.
I think they've got Americans dumbed down. Badly.
Oh, I just saw somebody just talked. Stephen Greer just did I saw that video. Stephen Greer about remote viewing, which Russell Tark and the people at the Montauk Project were doing. Yeah, I caught that. I'll pick that up. I don't know who wrote that because I don't have the screen on. Right, but thank you for that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the average American would run out and hoard toilet paper if they found out this technology happened. That's really funny, Mr. S. And you Canadians would go scoop up a bunch of maple. But man, Huggy Bear, I appreciate everything you bring into these calls. I had you on tape last week, and I put you on there. And the call with you on it when I brought up the Pike Committee and you chimed in perfectly. The timing was beautiful, and that almost went viral.
Really? Good.
Just because nobody ever lets you talk.
No, they never do.
Not only do I make sure you talk, but I record you for posterity, so this can all be recorded forever. So you can't be muted, erased, or kicked off.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Even if you didn't do that, I still like your calls. I like your calls.
I listen to you guys, and you give suggestions, and I tune my calls to what you guys want, and you guys give me a lot of data that I use, so it's our call.
I'm surprised and pleasantly that you have done some studies on Anthony Patch, because that's who I studied under for a while there. He was almost like becoming my friend for a good while.
Yes, he is exactly about the quantum entanglement. It's remotely, and it is exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. And he talks very bluntly about the AI, and he really did whistleblow for our targeting. Every Friday night he was on, I forget the name of the guy who just died not long ago. He did a radio show. And Anthony Patch had a show with him. Like, darn it, can't think of the name of it. And he really, really did that and other videos, and really got on, other various talk shows. And he really did try, and they actually approached him, the feds, and tried to get him to silence him, and he would not.
That's why he took himself off of all social media, and the only way to get to him now is $10 a month or more through his membership, and I'm going to join when I'm flush. But I'm not flush right now, so I can't do it. So I'll share my data with you when I get that access again.
He did a lot of, and I was surprised how many targets had never heard of him. But he really
I am too, but he is exactly what he's telling you what they're doing with this V2K. This form that I believe I'm getting, or that the modern version we're getting, is through this quantum entanglement using quantum computers that can communicate with your DNA, and using some sort of scalar technology to beam it down from either a satellite, or I believe it's a combination of satellites, cell phones, Gwen, HARP, and every type of antenna or device on this Earth or in the planet, or on the sky, because it's multi-pronged. It's a war weapon system. They've weaponized everything.
Yeah, when that Eric Schmidt, he's a big component behind this, believe it or not, with the Highland Group, who a lot of people never hear of from D.C. And they want you not to know of them. And they're connected underneath the Pilgrim Group, which goes right over to the Queen of England, or I should say now the King. Anyway, what was my brain going there?
Well, I got. Hang on one moment. On my next on 10/16 for people watching us on video, we'll be talking about Newland's threat to the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline, the Atlantic Council, their interaction between Nord Stream, Poland, Sweden. Brzezinski's the ambassador. Brzezinski's son is ambassador to Poland now, and of course a Polish naval station nearby had the ability to blow up the Nord Stream. And we'll be talking about meditation. I had my first meditation experience, which was crazy, and my new book, Targeted Trilogy, will be on Audible in 2023. So that'll be next week's show. Go back ahead, and you got 3 minutes, Huggy Bear, to wrap it up.
Well, to wrap it up, I have my own issues where I still just, cannot get over that this is being allowed to be done, especially defenseless civilians. But when you look at the whole globe and how, women and children are getting blown up by drones everywhere, and this targeting is mostly with the Five Eyes, I guess, I don't know, in a sense, I need to feel more fortunate that I'm still breathing, and haven't lost my ever-loving mind yet. This is enough to cause somebody to lose their mind. You know that?
That's what they say to me. They're trying to break me. They go, haven't you broken yet? And I try to explain to my handlers in my head, my dad was a Freemason and broke me as a kid. I'm already broken. So.
Yeah.
But the hard-ass stuff he did to me and all that stuff made me tough as nails. So, I have to thank him for that. He never hit me or abused me or anything. He just never home. My mom was always home. But he was, doing his rental properties, and he was a mailman, and he worked at the little bowling alley, of all places. Anyway, we got 2 more minutes left. I thank everybody for watching this video. I've got Huggy Bear with me. She's a regular on my call and is always welcome and gives great input and information that I will probably write down tomorrow when I listen to this video and share them with my next calls and or on Twitter. So you'll be able to play it back yourself on your chosen platform and write those down to yourself and be able to do some research that Huggy Bear's done for years. So, she's the expert, and she knows her stuff, and she's being targeted at the same time. So it is now 1 minute before, and we're going to wrap it up here in just a moment. And I thank everybody for watching. Everyone in the call will be going for another hour with the recording off. I think Joe had an announcement to make, but she wanted to do it off the microphone. I don't know if she's still here. But if she's not, she'll come on in. And thank you, Huggy Bear.
You're more than welcome anytime here. And if targets want to go a little deeper into it, look into Anthony Patch and what he talks about regarding CERN.
Yeah, and he's on YouTube. He's got some of his videos on there now. So, okay, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next week on your preferred platform.